What does Pope Francis tell us to do in this moment? Stay tuned. Good morning. My name is Father Frank Buckley. Delighted to be your host of our morning meditation group, Flourishing During Times of Uncertainty. Today is Wednesday, and it is going to be a great day. If you're new to the program, it's a three-part program. I said Mass for Immaculate Heart, and I thought I left my book by Pope Francis there. So you've had a little reprieve from Let Us Dream, but fortunately it was just in the back seat of my car. So it is back with us, and Pope Francis will be back with us in for our inspiration. And today I take a little inspiration from Pope Francis's book, Let Us Dream, about what we are being invited to do in this very moment. Then we'll move into our 20-minute silent meditation, just a little guided meditation to get us in, and then we'll enjoy the miracle of mindfulness. And at the very end, we'll do a little Ignatian Jesuit examine, look over the last 24 hours, and notice where God showed up. So, without further ado, let's begin. Excuse me. What are we required to do in this very moment? And Pope Francis says this is a moment to dream big. You heard it correctly. Let me repeat it. This is a moment to dream big, to rethink our priorities, what we value, what we want, what we seek, and to commit to act in our daily life on what we have dreamed of. What I hear at this moment is similar to what Isaiah hears God saying through him. Come, let us talk this over. Let us dare to dream. God asks us to dare to create something new. We cannot return to the false securities of the political and economic systems we have had before the crisis. We need economies that give all access to the fruits of creation, to the basic needs of life, to land, to lodging, to labor. We need a politics that can integrate and dialogue with the poor, the excluded, the vulnerable, that gives people a say in the decisions that impact their lives. We need to slow down, take stock, design better ways of living together on this earth. It's a task for all of us, to which each one of us is invited. But it's a time especially for the restless of heart, that healthy restlessness that spurs us into action. Now more than ever, what is revealed is the fallacy of making individualism the organizing principle of society. What will be our new principle? We need a movement of people who know we need each other, who have responsibility to others and to the world. We need to proclaim that being kind, having faith, and working for the common good are great life goals that need both courage and vigor, while glib superficiality and the mockery of ethics have done us no good. The modern era, which has developed equality and liberty with such determination, now needs to focus on fraternity with the same drive and tenacity to confront the challenges ahead. Fraternity will enable freedom and equality to take its rightful place in the symphony. Millions of people have asked themselves and each other where they might find God in this crisis. What comes to my mind is the overflow. I'm thinking of great rivers that gently swell, so gradually that you hardly notice them. But then that moment comes, and they burst their banks and pour forth. In our society, God's mercy breaks out at such overflow moments, bursting out, breaking the traditional confines that have kept so many people from what they deserve, shaking up our roles and our thinking. The overflow is to be found in the suffering that the crisis has revealed and the creative ways in which so many people have responded. I see an overflow of mercy spilling in our midst. Hearts have been tested. The crisis has called forth in some a new courage and compassion. Some have been sifted and have responded with the desire to reimagine our world. Others have come to the aid of those in need to create ways that can transform our neighbor's suffering. And this fills me with hope that we might come out of this crisis better. And this fills me with hope that we might come out of this crisis better. But we have to see clearly, choose well, act right. Let's talk about how. Let's allow God's words to Isaiah to speak to us this morning. Come, let us talk this over. Let us dare to dream. Amen. Thank you, Pope Francis, for giving us a method, a way, a model to come out of this crisis better. I cannot think of any way better to begin than with a morning practice and a preferential option for the poor. So get comfortable, take your shoes off. One of the ways we flourish is to unplug. So unplug from all technology. Don't worry about the timer. I've got it set for 20 minutes. I invite you to get comfortable. You can close your eyes or lower your eyes, whatever feels safe to you. And we'll begin and end with the sound of this bell. Let's get started. Listen, listen. The sound of the bell returns us to our true home. As always, let's begin with diaphragmatic breathing, that is, breathing deeply as possible into the lower belly 3 times, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Together as a community, inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale and exhale. Last time, deeply as possible. Inhale and exhale. Continue to breathe on your own. Take the attention to the traffic, to the sensations in the body, and to the breath. God is as close to us as this very air that we breathe. Please continue to enjoy this little miracle of mindfulness this morning.
Gently bring your attention back to the room. If the eyes were closed, go ahead, open the eyes. Do a little gentle stretching, lift the arms up above the head, tilt a little to the left, and then to the right. Healthy spine, healthy body. Inhale, lift up. Little back bend, a little forward bend. Release the hands, shake it out. Anything you've been holding on to, let go, surrender. Beautiful. And now we'll move into something near and dear to Ignatius's heart, the daily Jesuit examen. And here we just look over the last 24 hours and notice where God, excuse me, oh, the coffee hasn't kicked in, where God has shown up recently. I'll do it. Feel free to drop your comments in the comment box. If you're new, say hello, tell us where you're from. So for me, the examen is pretty easy this morning. Thank you, Pope Francis.
How do we survive a crisis? As only he can do, Francis goes to the juggler. Now is the time to dream big. I'm like, did I hear him right? I even had to go back and look at the book. Now is the time to dream big. So, where God came alive for me in that meditation was just as we move into a new year at Blessed Sacrament with our Jesuit parish right here in the heart of Hollywood, how to reimagine this as a Jesuit parish, to dream big with a preferential option for those on the streets. Second, thank you everyone for the kind words about passing the EMDR multiple choice exam. It was not easy. I am glad to have it behind me, but I'm also very grateful in the training. Someone recommended this EMDR primer book, which is really helping me figure this whole new way of doing therapy out. So that's been a great grace as the second thing. And then the third thing is definitely the meditation inspiration this morning. I just love Pope Francis. I love the way, even in the middle of a pandemic, he invites us to reimagine the world around us and ask that really pivotal question: how could this look differently? What would it smell like, taste like, sound like, hear like, look like? Um, what an inspiration to really begin the morning, to give our first 20 minutes of the day to God, and then to be, in the words of Francis, courageous enough to dream big. Thank you for joining us this morning on this beautiful Wednesday morning in Hollywood. Have a beautiful day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you. Here they all come.